a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around, and I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show, episode 201. And this is an Ask Pete where I get to sit back and do nothing. And my world famous producer gets to do everything. This is our after Black Friday edition. So I am pretty sure there's going to be some questions about Black Friday. Let's do this, pay the bills real quick, and then I will turn it over to Chris Stone. Sell a million. What are you waiting for? If you need more traffic in your stores, and who doesn't, grab this. 101 tips for furniture and mattress stores to sell another $1 million or more this year. It is a marketing book. If you find something in there you want to implement, but you don't know how, call me at 419-560-3169, and I will help you totally free of charge implement that one thing. So, thank you, Chris. You caught me. I was like ready to jump into it. The Mattress Industry Network group has sponsored our show for a long time. Thank you so much, Steve and Greg, for sponsoring the show. If you are in the mattress industry, you don't have to be in this thing all alone. Join the Facebook group. It's 100% free. Over 2,200 of your peers in this group and growing every day. If you want to learn how to build, market, succeed in this business, this is the place to go. Hit the scan me code right there and join the group. We would love to see you inside of it. Chris, let's get this show rocking and rolling. By the way, let me get this out of the way. Congratulations, you Michigan Wolverine. You guys won.
How we did it.
I was probably more surprised than you.
I mean, 20-point favorites at home with a $20 million roster. And somehow, it just goes back to this, Pete. We've spoken about this and made the parallel between sales and what you do in football, and that is the game is in the trenches. It's blocking and tackling. And if you've got $20 million roster of 5-star athletes on the outside, but you can't get it to them because you're not blocking properly or you're not tackling on the other side, you can lose a game, right? So you see what I'm doing, Pete? I'm trying to segue off of
because I know it's so bad. It just hurts. It's like salt in the wound, brother. Love you, but it hurts. It hurts bad. Sorry.
Oh, man.
What we got? I know we got our people here, and they got some questions. By the way, anybody that's got a question right now, just shoot it in, and Chris will get it up there on the screen. Your live questions take precedent over everything. So.
So Pete, Black Friday, and I guess today they call it Cyber Monday, but I don't know if Cyber Monday is something that's celebrated in the mattress industry per se, but maybe some sales have extended, and anything that was happening over this past weekend, may have been maybe in play for those in the industry. But let's just get rolling with these questions now. A lot of these questions came in this past week, but there's been some questions that came in prior because, as you know, last week was the 200th episode spectacular. We had questions ready, and just too much other stuff going on, which is great, and that's the way we want it, right? Like if we're watching live and you have a question live, I have eyes on the chat. We're going to pop it in, and we're going to get ready to go. So here we go. First question here, Pete, is, as I'm popping this up here, is from Upping My Game. And Upping My Game says, I have been selling mattresses for over 30 years now. I've worked my way to the top of a furniture store, and then I worked my way to the top of a small regional chain before I opened my own mattress stores, plural. One of the basics that many stores have gotten away from is showing the customer how to test a mattress. All my beds that are adjustable bed friendly are displayed with an adjustable bed. What is your recommendation, Pete, for when and how to show the consumer how to lay down and test a mattress? And this is from Upping My Game in Alabama.
After you say hello, I think what Upping My Game is referring to is we were taught to lay down first on the mattress and show the customer how to lay down on the mattress. It's not done nearly as much. It's almost like a lost art. So when you do that as a retail salesperson, you are separating yourself from the competition who either know that they should do it, but they don't do it because they've gotten away from it, just being lazy. It's a great way to separate yourself from the competition by showing customers that there's 3 distinct sleeping positions. I know a lot of people skip it now because they're showing it on an adjustable bed, but you can show a person an easy way to get on and off the adjustable bed too, especially if they're elderly, especially if you find out during your qualification that there's been any hip issues, any knee issues, and you can show them how to raise the head all the way up and use the head to help them get into the bed and then swing their feet over the side. So, for those of us who are looking for ways to separate ourselves from the competition and show the retail customer that we care, it's a great way to demonstrate that you care by showing them exactly how to try the mattress and to show them first, because it's not comfortable walking into a store you may have never been in before. It's not comfortable to lay down on a bed in front of strangers. It's just not. So if you as a salesperson, if you do it first and you show them, give them a couple of tips on how to do it, you're going to be further ahead, whether you're showing the adjustable bed first, which you should be, or you're showing them again. So here's an example. So Mrs. Jones tries some adjustable beds and she's like, no, I don't want one of those things. My friend had one, blah, 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 whatever it happens to be, right? And she says no. So now we're back to trying a mattress flat. It's at that point you show them again how to try a mattress. And it's super important because we know that most people are side sleepers. We also know that sleeping on your stomach is the worst thing you could do for your heart and lungs and your circulation. We know that the best thing you can do is to sleep on your back, but most people don't. So showing the customer that it's okay to lay down on the mattress by doing it yourself and showing them that, hey, a lot of my customers sleep like they try their mattress out like a little soldiers on their back, but they go home and they sleep on their side and they find out that they got the wrong mattress. And Mrs. Jones, I don't want that to happen. So try it out on your side if you're a side sleeper. And if you sleep on your stomach, roll over on your stomach and see how that feels. I'm going to be over here if you have any questions. And this is, prior to your pillow fit in, then you do your pillow fit in, and away you go. And give them plenty of space, because what I've noticed over the weekend is people are, interestingly enough, more needy than ever before, and you better be there when they have a question, but they're more put offish than ever before, and they demand and want their space. And if you don't give them their space, they're going to make a beeline out of your store.
Wow.
And it's very difficult for you as a retail salesperson, because I navigated that from 1982 to 1991 as a retail salesperson. The game's changed. People are much touchier than ever before. There was no such thing as a cell phone when I was selling retail. And to watch the changes and to be on floors that are actively selling was very enlightening. And it's actually changed from one year to the other. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
And you almost have to be a mind reader as a retail salesperson. And you can get some clues by how they walk. You can get some clues from how they talk. If they're more of a direct, one of the fascinating things, I was with Scott Vaughn on Black Friday, and Scott Vaughn looked at a customer walk. He goes, "That's a high D." He goes, "You familiar with DISC?" I go, "Bill Brooks and DISC method? Absolutely. That's a high D if I ever saw one."
Right.
Better not make any small talk. Better be very direct, or that person's going to walk right out that door. And then it's the opposite, right? If you've got a steady or compliant and they want a socialization, they want or high I should say, a high I interactive, and they need small talk. They need you to ask them how they are, and they want to talk about the weather. They want to talk about sports. They want to talk about anything to get them comfortable. And if you don't give that high I that attention, they're walking on you as well. So, we have to be amateur psychologists in this world that we live in. And you probably see it in your business too, Chris.
I tell you what, DISC is a we should do a whole show on utilizing DISC as a mattress retailer, specific to the mattress, because it is, and I have clients, Crispin Cruz, the Pipe Podcast, and DISC is like the roots of his whole sales thing, because it can apply to so many industries. But I love it when you can, what you're starting to do there is, we're just, you just touched on D, you just touched on I, but like the utilizing DISC, if you, and having it be very catered to the mattress industry, I think would be a really interesting episode. And you brought up Scott Vaughn. Scott Vaughn is in the house. Scott, and I think it has a lot to do with our conversation earlier, which was, the University of Michigan beating the Ohio State University.
You mean the conversation you had with salt in your hand in my open wound? That conversation?
Yes. I'm salt baying you. It's all about who plays as a team versus a group of players that plays for themselves. The team always wins, and is what we should be doing as an industry to combat online retailers. The team. He's giving me the Bo Schembechler speech to the University of Michigan.
Actually, that
football.
was a Woody Hayes speech.
The team. I don't know.
Au contraire. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Was that before or after he punched a player on the sideline?
Oh, stop. God rest his soul. And
May
he forgive you.
Okay. We're not going to,
St. Woody. It's St. Woody in Ohio. But you know what? That's a great question. It's a great comment, Scott. And, there's two different things that I want to talk about, because I was with those kids from 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night on Friday for Black Friday. Scott, my hat is off to you for building a team of great young kids that, number one, have learned to love the business. Number two, love people. And you have been very, very adamant about hiring people who are coachable and then coaching them and making sure they fit into your culture. And your kids, absolutely, they love each other. They love the customer. And you can feel that when you walk into the store. I have never felt a feeling like that in a store. It just, you don't want to leave. And I noticed something, customers didn't want to leave. They would buy and they would just hang around after they did, consummated their purchase. They would just hang around. And it's like they didn't want to leave either. They probably couldn't articulate why, but I'll tell you why. There's a special feeling in Happy Z's in Paducah, and I'm sure it's the same way in Benton. The store is filled with love and good vibes, and they are there to win, and they are there to win for the customer first and foremost. And I'll tell you, you want to talk about team players and being coachable. Everybody from the top to the bottom is coachable, including Scott, and it's remarkable to watch that. And then, Scott, I love the second part of your comment. I think it's so important. You know what this show is all about? It's about helping elevate our industry. What the Zoom call on Winning the Weekend with Pete and friends on Friday is all about, is elevating our game, coming together, having basically a free mastermind every Friday at 1, and basically talking to each other about what's working, what's not working, what challenges we have, and helping each other and coming together as a community and supporting each other. So, and thank you, Scott, for your masterclass and your Monday morning minutes. Your Monday morning minute, Scott, was so on point. And I want to take just a second about what Scott had mentioned. Congratulations to everybody out there who won, like Chris's Wolverines won. And for those who didn't win, like the Buckeyes and other people that didn't have great weekends, you have a choice. And this is copied right out of Scott's playbook. You can respond, which would be appropriate, or you could just react and shrug it off and never learn anything. Reacting is negative and responding is positive. If you see proof that there's life out there, that some stores had great weekends and you didn't, you need to start asking yourself, okay, maybe I do a lot of things right, but there's got to be a few things that I could do even better. And how can I get better?
Yeah.
And what are these dudes and dudettes that are winning? Like these guys that had great Novembers and great Black Fridays, what are they doing? And here's something else. Depending on how you merchandise, depending on how you advertise, you may not have a big Black Friday, but if you've had your best November ever or your best week, your best month ever, I have a local guy here who had his best month, not his best November, his best month ever. His Black Friday was good. It wasn't off the charts. It wasn't insane. But he has to be very happy because in a down economy, he actually had the best month he's ever had, which is outstanding. So, hey, the guys and gals that did great, pat yourself on the back and get back to work. And the guys that didn't, respond instead of react. You want to jump in on that, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what we're talking about is Happy Z's and they're a differentiator, right? We're talking about, if you want to be, if you want to add value to, there's a mattress that you can buy online, and there's, having somebody come into your store and giving them an experience, and treating them like a human being, And that's such a differentiator and such an advantage for you. There's a reason why you should do that. Otherwise, they're just going to buy it online. They come in equipped with all kinds of information. You're not telling them some stat on a particular mattress that they don't already know about. They already have an idea of what they want to do. The only thing that they may need is just to lay down on it and to feel and to get an experience and to feel like they were treated with consideration and that they're a human being. And I think that's a testament to what they're doing in Paducah. And speaking of that, Krista Henney chimes in, says, Super Bowl champion punters walk into Happy Z's Sit and Sleep to buy a bed just because it was a Tuesday afternoon. I know because I was there.
I was there with Chris when that happened.
What did we... Okay, now there's a story here. Let's hear it, because a Super Bowl champion punter?
Yeah, I forget the dude's name. Chris would probably remember. But he is a Kentucky boy. He made it in pro football. I think he's retired now. Maybe it might have just been the off season. I don't know. But yeah, I was there when that happened. And very cool. Very, very, very cool. One of the best questions, if you're a sales pro or a store owner, one of the best questions you can ask early on is get your customer to tell you about any research that they've done so that you can empty that bucket out and you can understand what you're dealing with. And they might have a certain belief that XYZ brand is the best, and you happen to have XYZ on your floor, and you can show it to them, and then you can let them compare it to other ones. And many times they end up with the other ones. So ask that question, understand where the customer's at, because you don't know where the customer is at. Today, customers have a different level of sophistication with the internet, and you need to be able to find out what all is going on in their heads so that you know how best to help them. So
speaking of sophistication from the internet, I looked up Super Bowl champion punter from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I think let me share this tab instead. Tim Mastey is a former Kentucky Wildcats punter who won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers.
That might be it.
I'm also seeing Larry Seipel was an all SEC and was taken in the 1967 draft. He was part of 2 Super Bowl winners.
No.
And he's a member of the Kentucky
guys.
Pro Football Hall of Fame. So it might be Tim Mastey, who was a punter for the Packers.
Might be.
But here's an interesting thing, and I think those of you who have, are mattress stores, many of you here that listen and watch, here's an example where now your responses in Google are like at the top is AI, right? And so if somebody types something in about a mattress, you're going to get an AI response perhaps before your website. So you really have to get creative here, ladies and gentlemen, and in order to get found online. That can be an advantage if you have a real great community presence, like Gardner's does, like Jeff and Ben do in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, like Paducah, Kentucky for Happy Z's. So it's like if you have that, that presence in community, now is the time to really dig in on that, right? And it's to really, because when you used to be able to type in something about a mattress and the first thing that would pop up is like a big brand that you can buy something online,
sure.
Right? Now you're getting AI responses. And so it's becoming even more difficult now to get found on Google. That still is a thing you've got to work on, but one way to do it is to dig in, roll up your sleeves locally in your community and have that presence there.
Yeah.
So
great advice. Thank you.
All right, let's go. Let's roll to the next question. Thanks for that, Teheni. Now this is like a football episode, this unintentional football episode. But
Imagine that on the Pete Primeau show. Shocker. Absolute
Right,
shocker.
exactly. We hate football here, don't we? Okay, so this is from Calibrating in California. Pete, what were your takeaways from your 4 days in San Antonio? I think the event is called Outbound or something like that.
That is a very good question. Thank you for calibrating in California. Oh man, where is it? It's going to be in the last place I look. Let me just take a peek here. Okay, so what Chris was just talking about was a big topic, AI. Big topic. Embracing it, not putting your head in the sand, pretending it's going to go away, and embracing it, making it your, making it a tool in your tool belt, and the comment was made again, and it's been said so many times by so many people, I don't even know who to attribute it to. Will I lose my sales job to AI? No. But you might lose your sales job to a salesperson who learns how to use AI better than you. So that is something to consider. AI can save you as a retail store owner tons and tons and tons of time. And anybody that doesn't belong to Jeff Janakovo's MRT, I think you can join for like $7 for 14 days right now and just test drive it. And if you guys don't do MRT, I think I'm a member. I think it's $97 or $99 a month, and you literally get thousands and thousands of dollars worth of ideas. So AI can help your life as a store owner because you wear so many different hats. Make your life so much easier. It can be so helpful in creating content for your social media. So helpful in so many ways. So AI was a big one. Here was a surprise takeaway. Shocker. When me and you were in Atlanta for Outbound 2 years ago, Chris,
Yep.
there was no mention of belly to belly selling. They actually did about an hour talk about belly to belly selling, like actually physically going there.
Nice.
Which a lot of people don't do these days. And I've always said, nothing will ever replace you going into a store because, yes, you have these great AI tools. Yes, you can learn a lot about the shape of the marketplace without ever setting a foot down there. But that's just, to me, the stuff that you do before you physically get there. And then when you physically get there, that's when you learn a lot of things. And the best things that you're going to learn about a store are not from the store owner. It's going to be from the delivery crew. It's going to be from the best and the worst salesperson that works there. It's going to be from the girl or the guy that answers the phone. Could be a warehouse manager who will tell you who they're having the worst returns and what the best sellers are without ever even talking to the buyer so nothing's ever going to replace belly to belly. Belly to belly is making a resurgence in B2B selling. So that was a surprise. So AI, my number one answer. Belly to belly is my number two. And this is going to shock some people, but I never realized how badly I was underutilizing LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is a bigger deal than a lot of people make it. I think it's more important in B2B than it is in B2C, but I think it has a role in B2C. I think stores can use it better than they currently use it. So I think there's opportunities on that platform. And I was really blessed, Chris. I sat next to Bryn Tillman. She's absolutely brilliant. And not only is she brilliant, but she's a giver. And I mean, she sent me so many notes and she was like, she's like, I'm gonna send it to you. Like, stop making notes, you Neanderthal. I'm gonna send you the notes and I'm gonna put them in this AI document and it's gonna be everything. She's absolutely brilliant. Anybody that owns a store or who is a sales rep, right there, Bryn Tillman, connect with her. She is absolutely brilliant, and you really need to get connected to her. And number 4, let me think about this. AI was huge. Belly to belly was a shocker. And LinkedIn, I was very surprised at how much more there is to it than what I thought. I would say this: understanding that the world that we live in has changed and it continues to change. And you have to have an attitude of adaptation. And your ability to adapt is going to determine whether your business survives or your business thrives, or if it goes completely belly under. Your failure to adapt is going to kill your business. If you are good at adaptation and you embrace the new realities, then you're going to be very successful. So, I don't want to sound like Charles Darwin, but it's true. And I know that that's a little on the blunt side and maybe a bit overstated, but I think that you have to be hungry. Pat Tinney's book, Perpetual Hunger. uh, if you just bought that book and never read it and just looked at that picture on that book, and just thought about your life and thought about your business life every day, you would sell more without ever reading the book. And by the way, the book's great. You should read what's inside of it. It's brilliant. It's really about prospecting for B2B businesses, but there's sales lessons for anybody and everybody in that book. But this idea that the world is changing and adaptation is super important, and how it's changing very, very specifically is emails are not being read the way they used to, especially in B2B. Text is emerging. It's becoming more important. And text is a mixed bag right now. So, and there's a difference between going to a cold list and a warm list. For instance, if a customer comes into your store, they give you their cell number, they give you their email. I'm not saying don't email them and don't text them. That's different. That's a warm lead. That's a customer that you actually met and you actually have a reason. And I was so proud of the kids at Happy Z's. When they couldn't close it under any circumstances, the way they got it was so cool. The way they got the email was, hey, do you want me to text or email you the link to the product that you were looking at? Yeah, because Scott has made a video on every product in his store.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And
love that.
It's a great way to get contact information and to be able to follow up. So that would be my 4 things.
So Pete, I if we could put a pin in the outbound answer, because we speaking about the very, speak of the devil here. So we have a comment here coming in from Healthy Z's Sit and Sleep.
Hey,
from
Blake, one of my favorite people.
Hello, gentlemen. How would you recommend working with a customer who seems to ignore you or your process and wants to lay on every bed in the store? Thanks, Blake.
I would smile at him or her and ask them what store they work at.
Okay.
That's what I would do, Blake. If they insist on laying on every bed in the store, they're probably shopping you and they have to lay on every bed so that they can include it in their shopping report.
Interesting.
So Blake, here's something. You may not want to hear this, but I could not wait till I got my first gray hair, because once I got gray hair, people started listening to me. You are this young, enthusiastic, nice looking guy who no one's going to take seriously until you prove to them that you should be taken seriously. So you're just this cute sales guy in most retail customers' minds. And you're going to have to work overtime on your education. And you're going to have to learn how to drop little knowledge bombs that get you the respect that you deserve to have, that you're not going to get just because you're young. And I know that's hard to hear. You're like, whoa, but that's one of the things. Now, once people know that you care and they know what you're talking about, they're going to be all ears and listen to you. But what you haven't, if somebody is ignoring you, you haven't established trust or rapport. And you're going to have to work overtime on that, especially when you're young. The more gray hairs I get, the more people listen to me, and the easier it gets. Of course, I am drinking from a fountain of 43 years of knowledge and experience. So my level of confidence is off the charts, Blake. And most people sense that about me. So you will get there, but till you get there, just remember that you really have to work overtime. Chances are you were being shopped, probably being shopped by either Mattress Firm or Furniture Fair. It's my guess, or just another local retailer. And hey, congratulations on you guys creating enough buzz that people are shopping you and they're scared of what's going on inside of Healthy Z's. So that is the ultimate compliment. And you will get really, really good at sniffing out these things. Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing with me?
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Well, and now you know you're making an impact when stuff like that happens, right? It's almost like when you have an impact online, all of a sudden it's like, why am I getting all these trolls? Why are these people just making some negative comments? It's like, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Congratulations. You're making a difference.
People are paying attention now, right?
The first time I got a negative comment, I just about wanted to like crawl into the fetal position and climb into the corner. And I had someone with a lot more experience say, congratulations, like you're doing something.
Yep.
And you're going to get more of it, and you got to get really thick skin about it. And that will happen, Blake. So keep up. I know you're drinking from a fire hose right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. Call me 10 times a week, 419-560-3169. Blake, you got my number. Call me. Don't wait for my show. Just call me immediately. Sometimes there's a little something or a word we're putting into something that creates a response that we don't want to get. And the sooner we get that eliminated out of our presentation, the faster we're going to make more sales. So do not hesitate to call me, my friend, and congratulations on you guys doing awesome things in Harrison, Ohio.
Awesome. Are we ready to move to the next question, or did we want to go back to the outbound answer?
Listen, guys, I just want to say one thing about outbound. I could go on. It was a half a day, 2 full days, and another half a day. It's super important, no matter what stage you are in your career. Obviously, I'm 64 years old. I'm towards the end of my career, whether that's a year, 10 years, or 20 years, God willing. But I'm getting towards the end of my career, and I have a choice to make. Do I continue to live my business life the way I've always lived it. And that's basically, you know, going 100 miles an hour, you know, pedal to the metal. And that's what I've decided to do. As long as I'm in this business, I'm going to seek out educational opportunities to make myself better, to learn from the best of the best. And, you know, Jeb Blunt, Anthony Iannarino, Mark Hunter, Victor Antonio, our friend, these are next level guys that are lighting it up in the B2B world. And I invested 4 days and thousands of dollars to be there to learn from the best. And so when I'm suggesting to you that you should invest $97 or $99 a month in Jeff Janakovo's MRT program, or spend a couple $1,000s to go to Scott Vaughn's masterclass, which God willing will be offered a few times this year. Go to the masterclasses Scott Vaughn offers. Go to become a member of Jeff Janakovo's MRT and seek out all the educational opportunities you possibly can. There's a free one in Vegas, guys, a free one. It's called Leap to Luxury. It's going to be on Saturday. My friend Jeff Janakovo is actually heading this up. Justin Trumbo, Bob Munkle, Brent Batterman, myself, and others will be there, and it's going to be 100% free event. I think it starts at 9 or 10 in the morning. It goes till like 3 or 4. I think that we got to be out of there by 4 in the afternoon. But it's 100% free. It's going to be, there it is. Thank you, Chris.
Luxury Leap.
Yep. Luxury Leap, elevate your mattress sales. It's 100% free, guys. So no excuses. You know, if you were going to come in on Sunday, you know, come in Friday night or come in early on Saturday morning and be there, and be in those seats. And I'm going to tell you this, on top of it being free, and you're going to have great information. And we've already had, you know, one meeting that was long enough to be 2 or 3 meetings about what we're, you know, what we want to do with this and how we want to transform retailers' lives. Whoever comes to this is not only going to walk away with knowledge about the industry, they're going to really walk away with a playbook on how to elevate their business to a new level. And they're going to walk away with a bunch of resources and freebies that you can't even begin to imagine. And we're not going to announce them right now, but you shouldn't be going to anything for freebies. You should be going to something because you're going to learn. And here's the thing, and you've heard me say this before, whoever is in that seat next to you is elite. Say it again. Whoever is in the seat next to you is either elite or they want to be elite, and they are part of your tribe. And what you should do is come to this event. It's in Vegas. It's in the C building. I believe it's on the 12th floor, but I'm not 1,000% sure on that. Leap, Luxury, elevate your mattress sales. What is it? Is it C1212? Is that what it is?
C1212, 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., January 25th, the World Market Center. Luxury Leap, elevate your mattress sales.
Yeah, guys, gals, be there. Be there. And what I would really love to see you guys and gals do is to create a community out of that event. Whoever goes to that, whether it's 120 people or if it's 50 people, it doesn't matter what the number is. That's your tribe, man. That's your tribe. And those are the people that you should be talking to and holding each other accountable and really, really taking your business to the next level. So this is a great way to kick it off. Be there on Saturday, just prior to Vegas market opening. We are absolutely determined to bring to you tools, techniques, everything that you need to win in 2025 with. So sorry, didn't mean to make a commercial, but
Don't
as
be
I was
sorry.
thinking about, like, okay, so you got paid things and then you got free things, and this will definitely be the best free thing you do all year. Absolutely guaranteed.
All right. Here we go. Are we off the outbound? Are we ready for the new Ask Pete question?
Yes, let's do a new Ask Pete question.
All right, back on topic here. This is Curious in Texas. Hey, Pete, how was Black Friday throughout the country? And what are your thoughts for business in 2025? Thanks, Curious in Texas.
Curious. I would say this. I would say that there was probably a good of the guys and gals that really went after Black Friday. I would say that 2/3 of them had some success and 1/3 had extraordinary success. And then there's a lot of people that don't even go after Black Friday. They just disregard it as a holiday and they don't really promote it the way they should or go after the business at all. So it was definitely a mixed bag. Not everybody was successful. But there was some extraordinary success. What I saw at Happy Z's in Paducah just absolutely made Christmas come early for me on a lot of different levels. The sales, the feeling in the store, the hunger of these kids to learn, the hunger of a seasoned owner who's been doing it for 19 years, who is like a little kid in a candy store wanting me to pour into him whatever I can. Scott Vaughn is not just a coach and a mentor, he's a student. And that's what makes him special. He's hungry to learn still. And spending some time with him and his group was wonderful. And for those of you who didn't have success, listen to Scott's message on Mattress Minutes that he published today in the Mattress Industry Network group. It was really well thought of. He really kind of thought that through, and just, are you going to react or are you going to respond? Are you going to look for the things that you can do better? And, success is never final and failure is never fatal. It always comes down to, what do you do with it? I mean, I'll tell you guys a funny story. So my last competitive meet, and I knew it was my last meet in powerlifting, I achieved my bench of 705. And I tore my shirt doing it, and there was a loud audible gasp. It was a support shirt, and we probably shouldn't have even tried 725. But the other thing that we never talk about is my last lift I missed. It was 725. I tried it in a ripped shirt, and it didn't go up, but came really close, which has shocked the what out of me. But I don't think about that miss 725. I mean, I might think about that miss 725 once every 10 years. I play back second by second that great victory over 705. The bar is bending. People are holding their breaths because they knew my shirt tore. They knew I had no support from that shirt, and I was basically doing a raw bench with 705. And that's what I remember. So when we get away from an event, we get a choice of how we want to remember it. And so think about the good things that happened over the weekend and over Black Friday and Saturday and build on those good things. And if there's something that needs to be fixed, fix it. It's it's not the end, and we should never ever, and some of us as human beings will do this. You just gotta smack yourself when you do it, and that is we kind of wallow. We kind of go, huh, yeah, I mean, my luck, it's the wrong location. It's just, you might have the wrong location. I don't know if you have the right or the wrong location. You might have had the wrong advertising. You might have the wrong sales crew. You might have the wrong merchandising. There could be a lot of things that are wrong, but starting to approach it by responding in a constructive way is always going to lead to the best results. So, my thoughts on 2025, I am very optimistic. And I don't want anybody to think that I believe that on January 1st, the door is going to swing like, triple what it's swinging now. That's not going to happen. We're going to slowly pull out of this thing. By the fourth quarter, I think I think we'll be doing a lot better. And, I think 2025 can be as good as you want it to be. I would say this: execute your game plan to have your best 2025, and you will. And do I think you're going to automatically do it because the economy is going to magically turn around? No, it's going to be slow, and I don't think it's going to get back to normal till the fourth quarter. But I'm very optimistic.
So, Pete, I've got a question back to your visit with Happy Z's and Scott and what they were doing around and how Black Friday was with them. I'm curious, and I'm guessing others are as well. Was specifically that store? Were they doing something that, on Black Friday, more special than any other day that's in that store, or were they just kind of implementing all of the skills, tactics, marketing that they do the other 364 days of the year, just with more foot traffic? Was there something that they brought? Were people coming in expecting something more than they would typically get? Walking into one of their locations. Was there anything sort of special that you saw that they were doing outside of the norm that maybe some other retailers might be able to apply, or was it just, hey, this is the way it is every day, there's just more people here?
They've done this before, but they did a free pillow giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a cheap little pillow. It was a pillow that had sold for between $100 and $150. Absolutely for free, just to walk through their process, which involved probably trying, I don't know, 6 to 7 beds. And they got that absolutely free, no purchase required. With a purchase of a premium mattress, you could get a free chair. I didn't understand all the details to that. Both of those things, I believe, had been done in some special sales, like maybe a July 4th sale, but they're not everyday things that they do. So was the magic there? I am sure that they amped up their advertising and expectations of what they were going to do. And the year before, they had a great Black Friday as well. And so the expectations were high. The team was ready. They were super, but they're ready every day. I mean, these are just great kids. And so I would say this, I posted, hey, good luck, everybody. Don't abandon your process. Have fun and sell $1 million.
Yeah.
And whatever process that you guys have, when you get heavy foot traffic, never abandon that. If you get a good customer that seems sincere and really interested and you think you have a good chance of closing them, never break away from them ever, unless the world goes completely upside down. But really maintaining your discipline is the key to having success on high traffic. And then when it completely breaks down, if you really have to, you can do group sales. And it's not ideal because today we sell mattresses different than we did 30 or 40 years ago. We're really customizing the sleep system. The customer is picking a mattress, they're picking a pillow, they're picking which adjustable bed base feels the best or has the right features and benefits for them. They may or may not be picking a topper. So there's a lot of moving parts to the sale that there weren't 30, 40 years ago. So, 30 or 40 years ago, we were idiots and we were just selling a mattress and a bed frame. We barely sold adjustable beds, even though they existed. So it's changed, and having a good process and staying with your process is the most important part. I would say what made it a success was their expectation that it was going to be successful and just the feeling that was going on. And I'm sure that Scott Bidwell, the advertising and marketing arm, for Happy Z's could give us some more answers on what they did. But one of the interesting things was there was some frustration that they couldn't close a few customers. And there was one that I thought was not going to be closed. And Superstar closed it. And Scott looked at me and said, there's not another person in this store, including me and you, that could have closed that sale. I said, yeah, 100%, brother. I don't have the patience anymore to close that sale. This was a tough customer. He was a sales guy and he was putting her through her paces. And I think it got to the point where she had just worked too darn hard for the guy not to give it to her. But he was at one point determined he was going to walk out of there. But there were a few customers that they couldn't close, and they did get them on Saturday because I got a text saying blah, blah, blah customer and blah, blah, blah customer came back and bought. And so
that's great.
In any given day, week, or month, we're going to have successes and we're going to have what we perceive to be failures. And a lot of times those failures, especially in retail, turn out to be successes because you realize that for them to come back to you and to buy from you, even when you couldn't make it on the first try, you must have done everything right. And or one of your competitors did something really stupid or wrong. But chances are you handled that situation the right way and you got the business, you earned the business. So
yeah, it wasn't a no, it was a not yet. Sometimes, right?
Yeah. And I think that's super important. And a lot of our guests have mentioned that over the years. No is not no, no is not yet. And Mark Hunter loves to say that. And I can't believe we're out of time, dude.
We are. Holy smokes. Well, I will say this. We got a question from Inspired in Illinois, and you basically answered it. They wanted to know if they're not sure if they maximize their traffic on Black Friday, and any tips that you could share. And basically, we talked about Happy Z's. And so Inspired in Illinois, I hope you got your answer there. And certainly, if you, Inspired in Illinois, or anyone else has any questions, fire off an email to Pete, and that is Pete Primeau, spelled Primeao, at Ameritech.net. Ask what?
EAO?
Oh, EA. Gosh, what is the problem? Okay. Primeau. U. No, just one U. At Ameritech.net, and put Ask Pete in the subject, and we will put your question on here on Ask Pete. But certainly, if you come in live and you pop in questions in the chat like we saw today from Krista Henney and Scott Vaughn and Blake, and we will absolutely shove them to the front of the line and ask those questions first. Live viewers get precedent. Pete, another great, amazing Ask Pete episode. Thanks for I got better today, so I appreciate it. And as always, go blue.
Hey, I would really like to thank Scott, Chris, and Blake for your questions. And everybody, it is Monday, and there's still an opportunity for some of those Cyber Monday deals. So go forth, make sure that you're having fun, and then your customer will have fun, and then you will sell 1 million. Thanks for being here.